right here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. I'm Alex. I do growth marketing here at Metrical, and today I'm joined by Nil from the YouTube team. We're super excited to get started. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes just to let people, trickle in. Feel free to drop where you're tuning in from. Maybe you can let us know what you're most excited to learn about, but super excited. We have a lot to go through today. Nil, if you want to introduce yourself while we wait for people to come in too.
Amazing. Hi, everyone. My name's Neil. I'm based in Google's Dublin office, and I'm really excited to be tuning in today. I work as a partnership development manager with Metricool, and I'm excited to talk about all things YouTube today.
Yes, so exciting. Okay, I'm going to pop up the presentation and we can get started because, like I said, we have a lot to go over today. And take it away.
Perfect. So before starting, we're here to discuss the magic of YouTube, and I can't think of a better time to discuss it because, in case you didn't know, YouTube yesterday turned 20 years. So it's been 20 years since since the first video was posted, and we're at the office. We're celebrating YouTube's birthday, and I couldn't think of a better time to be here with you guys and go through the magic of YouTube. So before starting, I'm just going to do a quick intro. So as I mentioned before, I work at Google. I work as a partnership development manager with Metricool, and excited to be here to talk about all things YouTube. Fun fact about me, if I had a YouTube channel, I'd be making videos about really honest restaurant reviews and life in Dublin, which is where I'm currently based. And the most recent thing I learned on YouTube was that retiring in Bali, apparently, I don't know if it's true, is easier than you think. So lots of content, lots of interesting content that I've been consuming, and that's a bit about me. As Alex mentioned, we have a really jam-packed agenda today. We're going to discuss the magic of YouTube, the world of YouTube, kind of understand what trends we're seeing from Google with YouTube, where the platform's been, reflect on the last 20 years, understand where it's gone, where it's come from, and where it is currently. Then I heard from the Metricool team that you are really interested in shorts, and I completely understand. YouTube Shorts is something that popped up recently, and we're going to discuss how you can unleash your vertical video superpowers and dive into the exciting world of YouTube Shorts. Then we're going to take it on to the exciting world of ads, YouTube ads, and we're going to see how you can fuel up your ad strategy with our new YouTube AI funnel. So now it's easier than ever to dive into YouTube ads, and we're going to basically take you through the solutions we have and how you as advertisers can activate within YouTube ads and kind of reach your consumers there. Then we have an exciting announcement, which I'm not going to give away yet. And then finally, we're going to close up the session with Q&A, and we're going to listen to the questions you may have and listen to the questions you may have and open it up for questions.
Yes. And if you are just tuning in late, don't worry. This will be left on our YouTube channel as a replay, so you can always watch it back if you missed anything at the beginning. And feel free to drop your questions throughout the session, and we will make sure to get to them at the end.
Perfect. So just starting off, we have millions of creators, billions of fans, and what we have to say today is that there is only one YouTube, and that's why we're here today, to dive deep into the world of YouTube, share the YouTube magic, and kind of give insights into how the platform's trending, what we see is interesting from our end. As mentioned before, it's been 20 years. Yesterday marked 20 years since the first YouTube video was published, and it's interesting to see where the platform's gone from and where it is today. And before diving into the insights we're seeing today, let's kind of have a look back on where we came from. So I don't know if many of you know, but YouTube actually started as an online dating site. Yeah, that's interesting, and it's really interesting to see how it's now evolved into the world's largest video sharing platform. Today we'll see how YouTube has completely transformed how we create and consume media, and how it has also even opened up a space for a new class of celebrities, YouTubers. YouTube in the last 20 years has given voice to the unheard, and it's in its early days, YouTube was home to random clips and viral moments, and today YouTube now forms part of politicians' electoral campaign strategies, power social movements, and gives stages to voices that are maybe overlooked elsewhere. Since we're looking back to the last 20 years, I don't know how many of you have actually seen the first video that was uploaded into YouTube. I think it's interesting to see it. So I'm just going to share it just so that we can see it and we can analyze where we came from and where we are now. And it all just started with an awkward elephant encounter, as we would see in the video.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants. And the cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really long fronts. And that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Yeah, so not the most exciting video out there, but it's crazy to see how an awkward elephant encounter has shaped the entire internet for the last 20 years, and how from a potential online dating site to a video sharing site, we've evolved into what YouTube is today.
Nil, I'm not sure if you know, but did this person just happen to be the first person to upload the video, or how did this become the first video particularly?
It was the first person who uploaded it, so it's completely random. Yeah. And we've evolved from that. YouTube now has 2 billion users worldwide, and on average, 41 minutes of content is consumed per day. So it's kind of mind blowing to think that the site has evolved to what it is today, and has positions itself as a global video sharing platform that is just more than that. And what we see is that besides the amazing reach, the 2 billion users that we have globally, we also see that YouTube's reach has also manifested itself in short form. So I don't know how many of you guys are aware of YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is our vertical video, the vertical videos that are available in YouTube, and YouTube Shorts is now consumed and has over 70 billion daily views globally, which is crazy to see how something that was basically born, I think, a year and a half ago, now currently has 70 billion daily views, and it's kind of shaped the way we consume video within the platform. And the reach that YouTube has is, besides being vertical, it's also multi-format. So it's a reach that's available on multiple screens, and what we see is that YouTube is consumed on every reach across many platforms, from short videos to long videos to YouTube Lives and to connected TV. YouTube is one of the only platforms that allows us to watch it in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. And something I do also want to double down on is TV. So as we all know, the TV landscape has rapidly evolved. Now, I think the norm is now to stream on your TV, and that's what everyone does now. But we also see this with YouTube. So the amount of people consuming YouTube in their TVs is massive. And as a matter of fact, I was just the other week look in the market for a TV, and I noticed that remotes nowadays actually come with a YouTube button next to other platforms. So it's interesting to see how YouTube is now available and has become the norm. And we see that around the world, people are collectively watching more than 1 billion of hours on average on YouTube and in their TVs.
I was going to say that I'm one of those people that streams YouTube videos to my television because I like to see it on the big screen, especially when I'm doing something. It's nice and convenient. And it's probably why I consume YouTube a lot more often than like some other platforms, because of that convenience.
Yeah, it's definitely very convenient, and also helps you bring the magic of YouTube to the home space, to your living room, and helps you kind of consume it with your friends and family. And what we see here is that YouTube, as a result of this, it's become an undisputed leader in the streaming sector. So it is, though, in the US, it is the most watched streaming platform on TV. We see it here. YouTube is #1, and we have other platforms such as Netflix. And it's kind of crazy to think that, because as we all know, the streaming market is super competitive right now. So really interesting to see how YouTube has positioned itself as #1 platform within streaming, and interesting to see how people are consuming it and inviting YouTube to be watched in their living rooms, in their houses, in their TVs. And it's a no-brainer, because when you think about it, if you look at your YouTube channel and compare it to your streaming platforms, I want to ask you here, who knows you more? Like, what is more customized to your liking, to what you consume? Which is more of a which platform represents a reflection of you? I feel like YouTube, in the homepage, whenever you enter, you see a hyper customized a recommendation of content of videos and creators that you love. So it's that's kind of like why it has evolved to what it is today. And the main question here is like, how has YouTube reached to what it is? So what's the driving force of YouTube and why is it here? So on one end, video has changed and transformed the way we interact with social platforms. If we look at it now, we see that social accounts for over 60% of the time spent. So people are consuming now more than ever video in social, and it's like the main type of format that is consumed the most. And the reason that people are consuming it the most is creators. So creators are a driving force behind this trend, and we clearly see it here. So we see that 39% of consumers say that they watch more creator produced content than they did a year ago, and creators have become mainstream now. They kind of are the new celebrities, and they give viewers endless ways into pop culture and have really good and really engage really well with their user base. And viewers themselves value the really relevant content and engagement that creators deliver, and they love learning more, engaging, and discovering new things. Whether it be it recipes, travel vlogs, and even high production content videos that are now being created from some creators. I think there's a bit of everything, and what we see here is that the creator economy and social ecosystems are growing and evolving, and video is at the core of everything, thanks to the engagement that it has.
I wouldn't be surprised if that statistic of 60% goes up as like the year keeps, like just as everything keeps evolving, just because like you said, video is so much at the forefront of everything that like we consume.
100%, and it's super engaging. I think if you are a follower of a creator, the best way you're gonna engage with that person is through video, through seeing their daily lives. And yeah, creators are the heart and soul of YouTube. They're the next gen media companies, and what we see here is that 61% of Gen Zs feel really close to their creators on YouTube, and they feel closer to them than how they feel with other platforms. I feel like YouTube really invites you to connect with creators at a personal level and kind of like dive deeper into their life. And we see this with many of the YouTube creators that we have there. Something interesting that we see more is that they trust the creators a lot. So what we see here is that people who consume content from creators are more likely to trust the recommendation of YouTube creators versus other creators from other social platforms. And I think due to the credibility that they give and the type of content that they put out there. I don't know about you guys, but the last time I went on a trip, I consumed a few travel vlogs just to understand what hotspots I should reach out to. And I see many other of my friends, especially those that are into beauty, consuming YouTube vlogs on beauty and understanding what products they should buy. So I think people go to YouTube creators and try to understand what the recommendations are, and this definitely influences them into making decisions. And we will see that later and understand how
I
YouTube.
definitely agree with that. I also feel like because YouTube has been around for so long, I think that people who have audiences on YouTube have very like niche and loyal communities, which I also think just helps with their credibility. Like they're more likely to purchase or just trust their recommendations as opposed to maybe like, when you're doing like a little scroll and you're seeing someone for the first time.
100%. Yeah. And YouTube really has, it's been a strong bet. Creators are at the heart of the content that's created at YouTube. And on one end, we see that the content that's being uploaded to YouTube is really fresh. Just as a mind-blowing fact, every minute. So I think we've been at 14 minutes of this session. So every minute of this session, 500 hours of content have been uploaded to YouTube. And from our end, we're deeply compromised in creative investment. And YouTube as a whole has committed to content quality in the last 3 years. We've invested over 70 billion USD to creators, artists, and YouTube creators within the platform. And this kind of investment kind of competes with investments from traditional studios. And the main reason that we're doing this is that we really want highly engaging content to be put out there. With that being said, let's dig deeper into what type of trends we're seeing and what type of content people are consuming within YouTube. So I think podcasts have been a new phenomenon in the last few years. I think more and more we're listening to them. In this case, with YouTube, we are watching with them. We are watching them, and YouTube is also a podcast platform of choice. And what we see, and this is really interesting because I, as a matter of fact, also see it. So it's interesting to see like what I do is also reflected globally. We don't only watch podcasts. We don't listen, sorry, to podcasts. We actually watch them too. And 84% of Gen Z podcast listeners also watch them within YouTube. And YouTube has positioned itself as the number one podcast platform out there. uh, People in the last month, people watched over, in 2024, people watched over 400 million hours of podcast in the last year. So it's interesting to see how a new type of content is being consumed in YouTube, and podcasts are on one end rapidly growing, and we're also seeing the same case and trend within YouTube. So on one end, YouTube has become the number one platform for podcasts, and YouTube is also the largest music platform. So if we look back in the last 20 years, we see that the platform's impact on music has been unparalleled. YouTube democratized artist discovery with its global exposure, and we do see many of the artists. We don't want to take credit for their talent, but we do see that many artists that we see nowadays that are super mainstream did start on YouTube and started uploading in their own channels. So YouTube has positioned itself as the largest platform for music, and many of the stars that we know nowadays started in the beginning with YouTube. So it's interesting to see like how different the type of content is and how it all lives cohesively in one same place. So switching from podcast to music to sports, we also see that 78% of respondents say that YouTube has sports content that they can't find anywhere else. So what we see here is that in YouTube, only 25% of sports consumption is actual sports footage. So it's the actual matches that are going on. The rest is all Halo content that can be found on YouTube, and we see that this type of content is leader. Many people consume like small clips, commentaries on sport events, and these are all found on YouTube. And there's like the only place where users can find them. So yeah, interesting to see how different type of content lives cohesively within YouTube. And with that being said, we're going to switch to the second part of the session, which is shorts. And let's dig deeper into understanding one of the trends that we saw. So we saw that shorts traffic was growing rapidly and exploding. And again, the metrical team said that this is top priority for many of its users. So let's see what trends we see. But before starting and diving into the trends of shorts, let's just put a quick sizzle reel on to generate some excitement on shorts and get us in the mood for the upcoming content.
So excited about this.
Amazing. So I think we got in the mood for shorts. Definitely a very exciting ecosystem to watch out for. For those who don't know, I'm just going to give a quick recap, and I'm sure we're all very familiar with YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are YouTube's short form mobile optimized experience centered around vertical videos. They usually have a duration of 3 minutes max, and YouTube Shorts are integrated within the YouTube app and have various points of entries that are directly accessible with anyone using the YouTube app or visiting the YouTube website. And YouTube Shorts are built for interactivity. What we see here is that what we put in from our end is we put unique feeds and signals just to fuel the algorithm, so that the recommendation that short content provides emphasizes factors that are super relevant for you and can generate that excitement and buzz. And again, YouTube Shorts encourages quick consumption and virality. YouTube Shorts are supercharge the are meant to supercharge the trends ecosystem and should also lower the barrier to create content. Because again, the main focus of YouTube Shorts is how interesting the content is, maybe not having a high production video and having really engaging videos that resonate really well with your audience. So I think YouTube Shorts was born a year and a half ago, and since then, maybe it's been 2 years already. But since then, we see that people are really engaging with the type of content, and we already see that there are 2 billion monthly logged in users. That's crazy. And we also see that 70% of YouTube channels now are uploading shorts and diving into the trend. So definitely something to watch out, and we've seen it grow exponentially ever since it was launched.
It's actually crazy that you say that it's only been a year and a half or 2 years. I feel like it's been around so much longer just because, like, I guess at the beginning, shorts wasn't top of mind, and now we really do think about it when we're thinking about that short form content. So it's crazy that it's grown so much in just such a short amount of time.
100%. And I feel it's evolved over time. So in the beginning, it did start with Gen Zs. We did notice that 82% of screen Gen Zs said that they were using YouTube Shorts in once a month in the beginning. But now it's, as you said, and makes total sense, has gone completely mainstream. So what started as something that was more Gen Z is happening across all age ranges. So when we take YouTube Shorts, we see that 75 people across all age ranges are watching YouTube Shorts each month. And this is much higher than all the other platforms that we have. So really interesting to see how it's gone mainstream, and it's gone mainstream with all age ranges. And since we're talking about age ranges and reach, YouTube Shorts also can provide the reach to audiences that you're missing out on other platforms. So something that I find really interesting is that 40% of YouTube Shorts users in the US are not on other platforms such as TikTok or Instagram Reels. And when we do see those other platforms, we see that there's a huge overlap of audiences. However, with YouTube Shorts, we see that it's YouTube Shorts does give you that incremental reach and access to an audience that you may not access with other platforms. So I do think it's interesting to note that, and if you are activating strategies, just notice that you can get that incremental reach. And we will see a case study of an advertiser that leveraged YouTube Shorts to get that incremental reach for a new business line that they had to basically untap new markets. So interesting to see this. And we did also comment and discuss how YouTube was like one of the only platforms that basically seamlessly bridges the gap between many different screens. We also do see the same trend with YouTube Shorts. We see that 65% of logged YouTube users are watching both shorts within many screens. And last year we did see that there was a huge increase in the amount of shorts that were watched on connected TV. So again, YouTube Shorts also has access to every moment, every screen, and format. Now that we've put ourselves into, now that we understand what Shorts is, the trends are, how you can get that incremental reach, let's kind of dive into some best practices on how you can get started on YouTube Shorts. And what I'm going to do is just basically share a few examples of some shorts that we see and kind of give some best practices on how you can get started, both organically and with Shorts ads, because you can actually now advertise with YouTube Shorts. So I'm going to give a few creative examples here. On one end, what we see here is that the hook within YouTube Shorts is super important, especially in a thumbnail. So within YouTube Shorts, since it's such a short amount, it's just a short time, the first 3 seconds of the video are the most important. So it's really important for you to create urgency, interest, and whatever emotions that you want to keep your viewers interested in.
I'd like to, oh, sorry, no.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
go
want
for
to
it.
add like a quick little tidbit. Something that I find that's really helpful to just test your own hooks when you're creating your content is if you wouldn't stop at your own hook, I think that's a good indication that you probably need to work on it or maybe try something different. Because like Nil was saying, it is so important to get people to actually stop that scroll since it's so second nature to just kind of keep going. So you really do have to think about that you just have that tiny time frame to capture someone's attention.
100%. Yeah. And something that's super important here is also the sound. So many of the users that watch shorts are listening. So something really interesting to take into consideration, especially if we want to hook the audience from the first second. And talking about audience, it's super important to know and understand your audience and make sure your content is appealing to a wide audience. And again, what Alex said, would you as users consume the video you just put out there? Just make sure it's memorable and impactful. And finally, it's always important to tell a story, whether you're uploading a YouTube Shorts organically or even advertising within YouTube Shorts. So you should always have a beginning, middle, and end, and kind of provide direction and also a conclusion that you want to get out from your YouTube Shorts video. We are going to see a few examples, and I'm going to play some exciting and interesting videos so that you can see what best practices look like. So I'm going to share an example here. I'm going to, after the videos, after we see the video, we're going to go and deep dive on what the best practices are. So
this is a strawberry, and one bite could kill me. So I have 20 minutes to cure my allergy. I have to act fast and search the internet for a cure. After 20 minutes, my allergies will kick in, and I'll be strawberry 6 feet below the ground. My favorite website, WikiHow, said that oat baths cure allergies in seconds. So I ran to the store to buy all the oats I could find. I really hope this works because I want to be alive for Shrek 5. With the clock ticking, I rushed home and channeled my inner chef and dumped all the oats into my bath to make human-sized porridge. Now, for the $1 million question, did it work?
It's definitely a very interesting video. What I liked about this video was a strong intro, so it grabbed my attention from the first second, and it also took me through an interesting journey that had a conclusion at the end. So it was interesting to see how the creator grabbed my attention from the first second. Let's move on to the next example. This video is really interesting because it doesn't have much wording, so it's minimal wording. What I do like is the sound, so they play really well with the ASMR practice aspect of YouTube, and has really appealing visuals. So it's super visual and also takes us through a really interesting journey throughout the whole video.
Level 1 pumpkin.
She knows what I think about, and what I think about. One love, two mouths, one love, one house.
Level 2 pumpkin. Level 3 pumpkin. Linguini would be so proud.
Another interesting example. Again, these videos are organic. Many of the best practices that we see in organic can also be applied within YouTube ads. We will have a session, and we'll talk about that later, on how you can basically apply those best practices with ads. But again, what I liked here was the way they use the appealing visuals and also play with sounds. And finally, we're going to see one example that audio is not really used here, but music complements the video throughout, has a really relatable story, and really engages with the users. So again, really funny story, relatable, and I like the way the music complemented the story and kind of made it really engaging. And this is kind of an example of something that could go viral. So what we recommend here, especially if we're kind of looking at a holistic YouTube Shorts strategy, is on one end, kind of identify what your objectives are with the platform, upload regularly, engage with your users, and also leverage audience insights. So YouTube accounts give you insights onto who your audience is, and kind of helps you understand who's consuming your video. So take all those insights and also pair that with an ad strategy, and you have a winning YouTube Shorts strategy. And I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah, now that Nil has gone through some of those really great YouTube short examples, I want to talk about being consistent and how you can improve it. And with Metrical really helps you upload regularly so that you can be consistent. And going back to that stat that Nil shared about how, there is an untapped audience on YouTube Shorts that isn't necessarily anywhere else. This is a great opportunity, especially if you are already creating short form content. There is really no reason that you shouldn't be on YouTube Shorts. And Metrical makes it really easy. So you can share your YouTube Shorts. You can also share it to other platforms so that you have like that nice cohesive presence. And then we can also analyze and even repurpose with Metricool. So again, you want to tap into those insights, look at the videos, depending on what metric you care the most about, whether it's views, maybe you're looking at engagement, find those videos that are performing well for you and think of different ways that you can recreate them. Maybe it's a slightly different hook, or maybe it has been a long time and you just want to repurpose that same content. Metricool has a really nice button that it's literally called reuse content, and you can just reschedule that out again. So I think that there's no harm in that, especially because the Shorts algorithm, you're constantly scrolling. It's very unlikely that people are going to see the same exact video, especially if it's been spread out for a long period of time. So it is completely okay to repurpose your top performing content. It can even help you. And then a little bonus tip with Metricool, you can actually spy on your competitors for benchmarking and inspiration. And of course, I don't mean, take the content and completely recreate it. Like, put your strategy, put your personality, your inspiration into it and see what's working for others on the platform. Of course, YouTube is a place to share ideas and to get inspired. So if you're looking at someone who's maybe in your same niche and you're seeing that they're doing a particular series that's performing really well, how can you make that your own? We have a really nice competitor benchmarking feature where you can input someone's handle and then their list of videos will pop up, and you can compare, see how you're doing, and maybe get some inspiration for some new series or some new shorts of your own.
Amazing, interesting insights on how to make the most of Shorts with Metricool. So we went over kind of YouTube Shorts, the trends, gave a few insights on how to set up your videos for success and how you can use Metricool. So what we also want to leave out there is that you can also advertise within YouTube Shorts, and it's a really interesting space to get your message out there, get your product out there, and engage in a really fun and really seamless, organic way with your audience. And our YouTube Shorts features within the YouTube ads that we have are made to on one end mirror organic features and kind of help you engage with your users and also encourage interactivity. So on one end, we have the option within YouTube Shorts ads to kind of direct to long form videos if you want to make sure your audience sees a longer video, or even swipe to the website. And on the last end, we also have clickable stickers. So if you're a retail advertiser, you can activate your merchant center, your products to be showcased within YouTube Shorts, sorry. And when you're advertising your products, you can basically, as we see in the example, kind of link the specific product that you have to drive action and make sure that people are on one end consuming really highly engaging content and also aware of what your product is, and if they're interested, purchase it in a matter of clicks. If you're a lead generation client, you can also put on a lead form and kind of generate leads with YouTube Shorts and YouTube in general with ads. And we will dive deeper at the end of this presentation into how to actually get started there and work with YouTube ads and YouTube Shorts, because as mentioned, since we are seeing that there's a huge amount of traffic and engagement and that incremental reach that we have, there are huge opportunities for you to tap in and kind of connect with your user base and advertise with YouTube Shorts. And we do have an example here. Again, I'm going to dive into how you can actually do it, but I thought it'd be interesting to just call out an example of a jewelry advertiser that used YouTube Shorts for a new line of products they had, and their main objective was getting that incremental reach. They got it after curated activation. They managed to get 88% incremental reach that was driven by Shorts. And ultimately, this also translated into business objectives being met. So the advertiser managed to get a 30% increase in new customer acquisition, and also saw improvements in their brand awareness and consideration metrics that they were able to track within their YouTube Shorts campaign strategy. So it's interesting to see how advertisers are already tapping in, and with best practices in their videos and highly engaging videos, they're able to connect with their audience and sell their products to their users. And I think this is a great segue into the last section for today's session, in which we're going to talk about how you can actually fuel up your ad strategy with our YouTube AI funnel. So as we mentioned, your audience is in YouTube. They're consuming highly engaged content. They're connecting with creators. So the question here that we get a lot is, how can you best reach your audience, maximize reach, and make sure you're placing ads that are memorable and hitting those business objectives? And that's why we're kind of here with this last section. We feel YouTube is the place to be. Today's consumers are seamlessly and simultaneously moving across four key behaviors. These include searching, streaming, scrolling, and shopping. So we like to call it the messy middle. So it's not as simple as before. People go through like a huge investigation phase in which, as we saw before, they consume YouTube, they go to Google, they search around, they even engage with other platforms just to make their most precise decision. And we feel that YouTube is the place that you should be, just to communicate your product and engage with your user base in an engaging way, and put your product and message out there. Which is why we're gonna kick off the section on how you can actually supercharge your social strategy with our new YouTube AI funnel. Just to give a bit of context on what YouTube AI funnel is and how YouTube ads has evolved in the last year. So in the past, there were lots of formats within YouTube ads, more of standalone formats. You could either activate YouTube ads with a skippable video, a non-skippable video, a bumper video. Bumpers are 6-second videos that can't be skipped. So you would you'd pick one of these videos. However, with AI, we're kind of optimizing towards objectives rather than formats, and we've created a AI full funnel in which you basically kind of pick your objective, give YouTube the ingredients you need, and kind of give the message, give the objective that you need to get out of it. And with AI, we kind of optimize and find how we can best reach your objective and hit that goal, rather than you researching and understanding what format suits you best. So this is where I want to present, sorry, the full funnel YouTube strategy that's powered by AI. So Google and YouTube's AI allows you to basically combine the power of many different formats and kind of reach the objectives that you want to reach. So the funnel is divided into three. It's nothing new. It's the marketing funnel that we all know. But within the awareness part, we have a specific type of campaign that are video reach campaigns. What happens here is you basically input several formats, several videos, and the main objective here is to get the maximum reach. We'll dive deeper into what that actually means. But then we have, in the mid part of the funnel, we have consideration strategies. Here we have video view campaigns. These campaigns also mix of series of formats and kind of help you get the most out of it and help you get the maximum amount of views out of your video. And then in the lower part of the funnel, we have demand generation campaigns. Demand generation campaigns also mix a few formats, and in this case also mix images and videos, and kind of help you get those conversions that you're looking out within YouTube and other platforms within Google Ads. So again, a really simplified approach into how you can actually activate with YouTube. You just give the platform your objective, if it's reach, views, or conversions. And with a few assets, you have a few assets, and giving insights into who your audience is, you can reach your audience and kind of optimize towards the objective that you want to get out of the strategy. So now I'm just going to basically take you through the 3 different types of campaigns that we have. I'm going to start with video reach campaigns. So video reach campaigns, the main objective that they have are to exclusively reach, generate a unique reach at the lowest cost possible. In this case, this type of campaigns uses a combination of YouTube Shorts, in-feed ads, so the ads that you see when you're about to consume a video, the skippable in-stream ads, so the ones that you watch and you can skip after 6 seconds, and the 6-second non-skippable bumper. So a lot of formats. Just know that you have to basically input a 6-second video and a video that's more than 6 seconds. So a non-skippable and a skippable one. And with these inputs, you're basically gonna get the highest amount of reach at the lowest cost possible. And what we see here is that advertisers that do activate video reach campaigns do see lower CPMs than when they actually activate standalone campaigns. So that's the first type of campaign that we have. Then we have video view campaigns. They are pretty similar in terms of formats from what we saw with video reach campaigns, the only format that they don't use are the bumper, the non-skippable videos, because at the end of the day, they're optimized towards views. They optimize towards CPV, cost per view. The previous type of strategy optimizes towards cost per meal. So reach, in this case, it's more view and engagement with the video. And again, uses multi-formats to get those views that you need. And what we see here is that this AI powers 40% more views and 30% lower CPV. So a great format if you're looking for engagement and for people to actually watch your video. Again, for YouTube short, for video reach campaigns and video view campaigns, shorts is also included as a format. If you want to exclusively work it with shorts only, you can also only input short videos. Our recommendation is to kind of work with all the formats available, just to make the most and leverage the AI. But if you're interested in kind of like expanding and working purely on shorts, with all the 3 campaign strategies that we saw, you can exclusively work with shorts. And the last type of campaigns type that we have are demand gen. I'm a huge fan of these type of campaigns. If you're an advertiser that's new to YouTube, you kind of are focused on the mid to low funnel, and you want to generate conversions, this is the type of campaign that you need. Demand gen campaigns, as the title indicates, are type of campaigns that are made to create and convert demand. So these are the lowest type of funnel campaigns within YouTube, and they're designed to generate engagement. I'm going to showcase what type of formats they use, because they use a lot of formats, but they have really powerful signals that you can input to the campaign so that you reach the most relevant audience that you want to reach to, and kind of like generate those conversions within YouTube and other type of platforms within Google, within the Google platform. And what we see here is that advertisers that do activate demand gen, we see that they do generate 14% more conversions when they add them. And these are great campaigns to add to your strategies if you already have Google search strategies, kind of like to kind of boost everything and work together and work on the funnel, but kind of be conservative and reach the low funnel within YouTube ads. Again, demand gen has many different types of formats. Demand gen was born as discovery campaigns, so they were born a few years ago. They were image-only campaigns that were available in the Discover pages within Google Ads. Now they've expanded, and you can actually add YouTube in-stream videos to them, YouTube Shorts, and they also work with Gmail and the video partners network that we have within Google, so your video can be consumed in other websites out of YouTube or Google Ads. So really interesting, many different formats that are kind of bundled in one place. Again, the main message here is that the YouTube AI funnel kind of does that. You just basically give ingredients of different type of assets, and with the objective that you set out, it either generates the highest reach possible, it optimizes towards views, or in this case, towards conversions, because demand gen campaigns are optimized towards conversions and are focused on generating those conversions. They can also be optimized towards clicks. That's up to you. Demand gen campaigns can be used for kind of like a mid-funnel type of strategy or more low funnel. Again, there's different type of setups, optimizations that are needed to be implemented here, audiences, creatives, and you basically play around with these configurations, and you can work them to generate conversions. So yeah, interesting. Those 3 formats are really interesting. It's interesting to see how YouTube and Google Ads have bundled different formats that were available in the past, kind of making it easier for advertisers to start and activate campaigns within YouTube Ads.
I think it's so nice that there are so many different options for people, and like especially I'm very curious, like if people want to drop it in the comments if they have created any of these types of campaigns and like what they tend to gravitate towards. I'm really curious if anyone has, if you could drop it in the comments.
100%. Yeah, drop the comments what your experience has been with them, and we can. And if you do have any questions on how to activate, we can also cover those in the Q&A part at the end. Or if you've not, maybe now it's time to kind of investigate and discover. And we're also going to put out a few series of trainings that are going to help you understand the world of YouTube ads. Since we did mention creators throughout the whole session today, I also did want to come with a few updates and new products that we have within YouTube ads. And you can now tap into power of creators and with our new partnership ads. So partnership ads basically use authentic creator videos to drive even more performance. And what basically happens here is that you basically work with an influencer, and that influencer posts a video. Let's say in this case, you're a makeup company, an influencer posts a great review of your product and that you've collaborated with. And what you want to do here is kind of take that video and put it in ads. So you kind of promote that video. So what partnership ads does is basically allow you to do that. And you can basically set them up with the 3 objectives that we saw before. So if it's a great video that an influencer's done that basically communicates the product, that's really low funnel and kind of invites the user to buy it, you could create a demand gen campaign. If it's more inspirational, more upper funnel, you could create a reach campaign or a view campaign and kind of promote that video that the creator has done. Because as we've seen today, creators do generate a sense of connection and kind of people trust and look up to them to inform their decisions when making a purchase. That's kind of like where this format was born. And you can also use it in YouTube Shorts, which I think you can see it here. And when we look at results, we see that that online users are, if we look at long-term results, we see that online users are twice as more likely to discover new products and brands in YouTube versus other social platforms. And I think we've covered this throughout the session. Creators are looked up upon and people consume their content just to make informed decisions. So it definitely makes sense to advertise there and kind of be there, especially since we know that users are going to YouTube to make informed decisions. And what we see in general is that we see that YouTube drives twice more higher ROAS than other paid social platforms. So it's interesting to see how you can make the most of the YouTube AI funnel, especially now with how simplified and easy it is to use, just so you can supercharge your social strategies. And if you are activating within Google Ads search strategies, other strategies, it's great. They're great to combine with them just so that they basically boost and feed the other types of campaigns that you have. I think we're doing good on time, so I do have a case study that I wanted to mention. I think one of the best-in-class advertisers that we have within YouTube, at least that I personally think they're best in class, are Grammarly. I don't know how many of you have actually been impacted by an ad for them. I think they do a great job with their creatives, kind of explaining what they want to get out of their YouTube ads video and kind of explain what their product is, kind of resolve a problem within that the user has and connect and kind of offer that solution. So I'm just going to put an example of a Grammarly video that's done really well for them and they've been using to generate conversions and kind of work that low funnel part of YouTube and create a sense of urgency and need to why users should be using their product.
If you write anything on your computer, you need to get Grammarly.
I write pretty much all day, every day, and Grammarly makes my writing better.
As a student, I like that it's free. It actually is correcting everything as I'm writing it.
Grammar errors, spelling errors, and even helps me find the right words to use so I can say what I want to say.
It catches all those embarrassing little mistakes before I hit send.
I downloaded Grammarly around my freshman year because I was just horrible at typing.
Grammarly is like my secret weapon for writing papers.
It's the perfect tool for your resume. You know, you don't want any errors when it's your first impression.
I use Grammarly for important emails, social media posts, which there are a lot of.
I've used every tool out there, and Grammarly is by far the best for improving your writing.
Grammarly is making me a better writer, and it's free.
I would recommend Grammarly if you're a student,
my family,
my peers, my colleagues.
It's like having your own personal proofreader for free.
Download Grammarly for free at Grammarly.com.
Cool. So I think this video is a really good example of what a YouTube ads video could look like. I like the fact that the CTA was present throughout the whole video. There was like a button or like a message that prompted me to click here to learn more. The video basically answers a problem that I have, really tries to resonate with me as a user and kind of give a solution to what my problem is. And at the end of the video gives credibility on why I should use their product and invites me to download their app or website product for free so I can start using it. So I think they're a really good best-in-class strategy. We have a few case studies that have been published externally on the work they do. So if you're interested in learning more and understanding, you can definitely find those online. And it's a great example on how to use YouTube ads. And I know that a huge part of YouTube ads success are the creatives. I think the messages that were put out here are really good. The way the video was set up, really good. So if we do have a really well created video with a really well worked flow and message that we're communicating, and we pair that with good audiences that are really relevant to what our product is. Plus, we use the right type of format. We have like a winning combination of a YouTube ad strategy.
I've actually been fed that ad before. I've seen it. I think
Yeah,
it's
sorry about that.
oh no, it's okay. But yeah,
So, yeah, after discussing this part, just want to present what's next in place for us. Since the world of YouTube ads is really interesting and there's lots of best practices, we spoke about audiences, creatives, different types of formats. We've partnered with Metricool on a really exciting series of boot camps that we're going to be launching throughout May. And we're really excited for you to join those. The idea here is that we're going to have 3 sessions and we're going to go and I'm going to present what those sessions are just to get you excited and in the mood for them. We're going to have 3 really exciting sessions on how you as advertisers can start launching your YouTube ad strategies, in which we cover all the best practices. And after these sessions are going to be really interactive, we're going to have Q&As and kind of listen to what your questions are. If you have any concerns, you've tried something in the past that maybe hasn't worked, you can bring that up and we can discuss and kind of help you and equip you with all the best best practices for you to activate and successfully activate with YouTube. So this is a series of 3 sessions, and after the 3 sessions, we're excited to partner with Metricool for a certification that you'll have of completion, kind of like as a reward for doing it, attending all 3 sessions. And yeah, the sessions will be happening throughout May. The first session is May 8th. We're going to start with the basics of the funnel and how you can activate the different types of campaigns, what resources we have out there within the YouTube ads platform, what type of best practices we have in terms of audiences, in terms of bidding setup, in terms of best practices, and how you can basically plan like a pro and activate like a pro to basically reach your objectives. That's going to be our first session, May 8th. Our second session, for those of you who are really creative and like seeing the example of Grammarly, we're going to have a session in which we're going to purely focus on creatives. Again, a huge chunk of the success of YouTube ad strategies are creatives. So we're going to look at, on one end, examples and best practices on what good creatives look like. It's going to be a really interactive session. We're going to look at videos and kind of see what the best practices are. And also kind of present what features and resources we have for you to actually activate within YouTube ads, because we know that sometimes you may not have resources to activate good creatives. It is not necessary to have high production videos to activate YouTube ads. There are lots of really interesting resources and tools that are gone out there, especially with AI, that you can leverage and kind of create good creatives with really low budgets and in a span of minutes. So that's our second session, May 29th. And our last session, which will take place on June 5th, is how to measure success on YouTube. So kind of see the attribution, kind of understand how YouTube is impacting other campaigns that you have within your YouTube strategies and Google ad strategies, and kind of understand what the impact of YouTube is to your business. There are ways to measure brand impact. You can measure, since YouTube is part of Google, you can measure the impact it has on your branded searches and kind of see what the impact is to your business objectives. So that's our last session. When you do complete all 3 sessions, you will get that certification. So it's, again, going to be really interactive, really engaging, and it should be really fun series of sessions in which we cover all the best practices, and we'll also be hearing you out throughout all the sessions. So any pain points, this will be a time to kind of share those with us so we can help you activate within YouTube. If you want to join and are interested, you can scan the QR code that we have in this presentation, and you can secure your spot now, and just so you make sure you don't miss out and your registration is valid for those sessions.
Yes, absolutely. We're also going to drop the link in the chat if you are watching on mobile and can't scan the QR code. Registration is going to be open up until the day before the first session, so up until May 7th. So definitely register. This can ensure that you will get the certification. It will also ensure that you get links to all the sessions so that you don't miss them. So highly recommend, and share too if anyone else would be interested in activating on YouTube ads. Like Nil said, we're super excited about it, and it is going to be really interactive. You can come with questions and we'll be able to answer those and really like solve any of those pain points that you're having.
Yeah, I'm really excited for those sessions, and the content is going to be very interesting. So don't miss out. Scan the QR code that you see here. So we do have a few minutes. I want to open up the floor to Q&A. So now it's time to drop those questions that we see in the chat and kind of cover those questions here.
Yes, super exciting. I'm going to go through and pop a couple up on the screen, but feel free to start leaving any other questions that you've had throughout the session. Let's see. Here. I'm going to pop this up. Maybe, Nil, if you know, is there still a special podcast section like there used to be, or do you just post podcast videos in your video feed?
Yeah, it's a good question. From what I saw, I think there isn't a podcast section yet. I might be mistaken, but I don't think there is one. You just post them in your feed as a video.
Nice. And then let's see. This one you also may be able to comment on if there is if it's worthwhile to have a thumbnail for YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I think it should be. It is very interesting to have a thumbnail with YouTube Shorts. Again, I know most of the YouTube Shorts are consumed on mobile, but there is a huge part of YouTube Shorts that are consumed on connected TVs and other platforms and other. So it's interesting to have that thumbnail just so that you create something that's engaging and interesting for the users to click on.
I will add too that, like Noah was saying, sometimes when people are searching for something in specific, if you do have that thumbnail and it's very clear what your video is about, I think it can really help to make sure that, it does get clicked on and get watched, especially if you're, really trying to optimize it for search content. Okay, let's do this one. For a developing channel, do you recommend posting YouTube Shorts or YouTube long form? I've heard it was not really productive posting both. What is your view on this?
Yeah, I think the recommendation here is to kind of post both. Obviously, the message and the content should be different. There are different types of videos. One should be longer, one's more shorter and dynamic. We do see many advertisers posting, especially podcast advertisers, posting kind of like short clips on their podcast and kind of like those viral moments. So I think that's definitely something that you could look into to kind of like boost everything, and kind of like create a buzz on your longer content so that you use shorts to drive traffic to that.
Building off of that, something that we recommend, especially if you are already creating that long form content, is to always try to repurpose clips from it, since it's already built for you. You already did the work, and long form content obviously takes the longest. So like you said, boosting those short little clips to maybe drive back to the main video, or even repurposing that content elsewhere to bring people back to your long form is always like a great idea for some extra reach to your audiences. And then there was also this one. YouTube will connect advertisers with creators on the platform, partnership / promo facilitation. I think this might have been in the middle when you were talking about maybe the partnership ads.
Yes, that's a great question. So we do not connect you with the creator. So let's say you've collaborated with an influencer. What you do here is basically once that influencer's uploaded, a creator has posted that video, you basically send them a link so that they're agree to you advertising their video. So we don't put you in touch with the creator. It's more of something that may have already happened, and you just give an invitation to the creator so that you can actually use that video to promote their content with your ad strategy.
I'd like to add on a question to this. Is this available to everyone, or do people have to meet certain requirements in order to do partnership ads, or is it just as long as you're on YouTube ads?
Yeah, this is available to everyone. It came out not a very long time ago, but it is available to everyone. And the requirements are you work with the creator and you send them an invitation to accept you advertising their video, and once they accept, you're good to go.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I have this one, which is a great question. Will the bootcamp be available after, or does it have to be attended live? So we do understand that everyone has different schedules. So my biggest recommendation is to please sign up through the QR code or through the link. This is going to ensure that you get the links to the videos, and we'll be able to track if you've watched the sessions that way. So you don't have to attend live. You will be sent a link to the video after the session has gone live. So if you can't attend or you need to watch it on your own time, you definitely can, and you'll still be able to get that certification as long as you make sure you sign up through the form on the landing page. Let's see here. Maybe this one's for you, Nil. How do we add a show your support button to our videos?
I'm actually not too sure about that one. We can get back to you on the next session on how to do that.
Perfect. We'll make note of it.
Yeah.
This is a good one. What are the top 3 best practices for creators looking to begin with ads?
Yeah. What are So the question here is for creators looking to begin with ads. So let's say your content, just so I understand the question properly, you're a content creator within YouTube and you want to use YouTube ads to kind of boost engagement within your channel. Is that the question?
See if he answers.
If it is the case, we do have a few options for creators that want to boost their channel and kind of generate traffic to their channel. So I think the main first step here is kind of understanding what type of format and objective you want to optimize towards to. Within the more upper funnel types of campaigns that we have, you can also optimize towards subscriptions and engagement with your channel. So that's definitely something interesting that you should look out for and kind of make sure your strategy is set up for that objective.
Perfect. We just got this one too. In case you missed it, for anyone who joined in later, this session is going to stay on our YouTube channel. So if you did sign up, you'll get the link right to your email right after this ends. But if not, you can always just come back to this video. It will be here. You can watch it as you please. For replay, you can send it out and then make sure you didn't miss anything. And then I think we'll do just one other question. Sorry, I had put it on the screen. I believe this was a question about YouTube demographics, what age ranges are on YouTube. And I think you covered that, Nil. I think you said that pretty much we have a large age range on YouTube right now. Everyone is consuming content.
Yeah, definitely. There's a huge age range within YouTube, and especially the reach that you have access to all types of age ranges. So it's kind of like everywhere.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Now you can go to the next one.
Perfect. Yeah, with that being said, there is only one YouTube. Thanks again for joining in today. Again, a really special week for YouTube. We just turned 20. So excited and happy that I was able to kind of share the YouTube magic, kind of share a few trends, and also go through the shorts revolution and share a few best practices on how we can activate within the YouTube AI funnel. Again, this is kind of just a starting point. We're going to go into the nitty-gritty within the bootcamp and kind of dive into all your questions and see how you can have a successful YouTube ad strategy and make the most of the platform with Metricool.
Yes, we're super excited. Please sign up at the link. And then I know we weren't able to get to all of the questions today. There are quite a lot. So if you want to leave them in the comments, we'll go back in and answer them to the best of our ability. If we don't know, we will find out for you. And then we will also start the next session with just a mini Q&A, which will be really great. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a really great turnout and we're super excited for the bootcamp. So we hope you sign up. Thank you.
Bye.